There's a moment no one really talks about. It happens after you understand the manipulation, after you see the patterns, after the illusion finally breaks. It's not relief. It's not peace. It's quiet. And that quiet can feel unsettling, almost wrong, if chaos has been your normal. If you're in that space right now, stay with me. Because what comes next isn't about fixing yourself. It's about learning how to live without distortion. Welcome to the eye behind the curtain, where we look at what's usually left unseen or unspoken. The strange calm after clarity. When the illusion breaks, your mind catches up faster than your body. You know what happened. You know why it hurt. You know you weren't imagining it. But instead of feeling free, you might feel empty. No adrenaline, no urgency, no emotional spikes pulling you in every direction. For a long time, your inner world was organized around reacting, anticipating moods, reading tone, adjusting yourself. When that stops, there's suddenly space. And space can feel uncomfortable when you've never been allowed to have it. This is also the point where healing was never meant to be done alone. Healing doesn't happen in isolation. It happens in connection. Friends, chosen family, safe people, they remind you who you were before everything got distorted. They offer perspective when your own feels shaky, and presence when words fall short. You don't need them to fix you. You need them to sit with you, laugh with you, walk beside you while you remember yourself again. Community isn't a bonus in healing. It's part of the medicine. Why the quiet feels wrong. Many people mistake this quiet for numbness. They think, shouldn't I feel happier by now? Why don't I feel more alive? But this isn't numbness. It's your system no longer being hijacked. For the first time in a long time, nothing is pulling at you. Nothing is demanding a response. Nothing is asking you to abandon yourself. And because chaos once felt like connection, calm can feel unfamiliar. Not bad, just unfamiliar. An outcome. Most people don't expect. Someone once described this stage perfectly. They said, I kept waiting for something to happen. A message, a trigger, a crisis. And when nothing did, I felt uneasy, like I was missing something. They weren't missing chaos. They were missing orientation. For a long time, their sense of self existed in response to someone else. When that person was gone, the question quietly emerged. Who am I when I'm not reacting? Identity after reaction. The dynamics with someone who slowly made you doubt yourself don't just affect emotions, they shape identity. You learn who you are by how you're allowed to exist, what's rewarded, what's punished, what's ignored. Over time, your preferences narrow. Your voice softens. Your reactions become more calculated. So when the relationship ends, you don't just lose a person. You lose the version of yourself that existed around them. And that loss deserves to be acknowledged. Your reactions after the fog lifts. This phase doesn't have a dramatic feeling. It feels neutral, sometimes flat, sometimes slow. You notice less urgency in your chest, fewer mental rehearsals, more pauses before responding. You don't feel pulled. You feel unoccupied. And that can be scary if your body learned to equate intensity with meaning. But this is what regulation feels like before it becomes comfort. This is where self-trust quietly returns. Over time, something subtle changes. Your decisions stop coming from fear. They start coming from alignment. You choose things because they feel honest, not because they keep the peace. You leave conversations earlier. You explain less, not because you're guarded, but because you don't need permission anymore. Earlier in this series, about experiencing a relationship where love felt conditional, videos were about noticing patterns. Now, it becomes something else. It's the part of you that no longer needs to monitor others, because it's finally oriented toward yourself. It doesn't rush. It doesn't argue. It doesn't panic. It simply watches and chooses accordingly. That's not hyper-awareness. That's presence. Why this stage isn't the end. This quiet isn't the finish line. It's the ground. From here, you don't rebuild your life dramatically. You rebuild it accurately. You start noticing what drains you, what steadies you, what feels neutral, and what feels nourishing. You don't chase intensity anymore. You start choosing coherence. Here's what most people don't realize until much later. You didn't heal by becoming stronger. You healed by becoming clearer. Clear about what feels right. Clear about what doesn't. Clear about when to walk away, without needing proof. That clarity doesn't announce itself. It settles. And once it does, it's very hard to unsee. If you're here, in this quiet, nothing is wrong. You're not empty. You're not behind. You're not missing something. You're no longer living inside the illusion, and the part of you that noticed all along is no longer watching in silence. It's guiding you now. If this series helped you see yourself more clearly, you're already part of this space. And if someone in your life is still searching for answers towards what they're feeling after leaving a toxic relationship behind, sharing this might help them feel less alone. This is the eye behind the curtain, and this is where clarity begins. Remember, this channel doesn't diagnose, it observes.